Hello everyone, I'm JL Thomas, and this is Kensho's The Art of Gaming. This is our report for the month. Everything's going according to plan. Let's start with good news, because that's all there is. I've been very fortunate to have a channel. We got our first like as of last week. And we have subscribers with a growing channel. It's really important that we have viewers. Even if it's just that you stop in and watch the video time to time, or if you left us a comment or a suggestion, it means a lot to the channel. This channel is, to be for the gamers, by the gamers. I'm working on a manga series for us. This manga series released within the next 3 to 5 months. I'm working on an extra episode, and I've had the opportunity to follow in the steps of some other manga. It has been 13 rounds so far, and about a half dozen characters that are going to be our main protagonists, our main characters, our supporting characters. We have rounds and worlds that are completely drawn out for every detail that have been colored already even. We have characters with entire bios that just need talented voice actors and artists to be a part of it and share a compassion for anime. I believe that's possible by the end of the year. And we have an e-commerce shop. Our e-commerce shop has the same projection as our manga release date, around July or August. We're going to be looking for a shop that's going to sell one-of-a-kind items, memorabilia, board games, hobbies, trinkets, nostalgia, hoodies, unisex clothing, male and female clothing lines. You're going to find jackets, even jewelry such as watches and other things that I'd like to do as promotional items, one-of-a-kind items that are graded. You'll know the thread counts, the materials, you'll know as much about that item as you possibly can. And I'm establishing the groundwork for a pipeline to the best customer service representation of the community. I have a background in marketing and sales, and as an artist, this has been a challenge for me, not to fall in any of the pitfalls of giants martial arts that preceded me who have had success. I hope not to repeat, but there's also a learning curve to who we can trust in the industry and who's reliable and considerate and does this not just for monetary value, but because for me, it's not work. It is a dream and an opportunity beyond this platform. Receiving our first like as of last week. So psyched about that. I wish I knew who that person was that liked our video. And we have subscribers with a growing channel with no derogatory or negative remarks. That is the groundwork for my success. That's it. If the manga and the animation in the shop is to everyone's likeness, I'm a success. I don't know in terms of value what a person's definition of success could be, but I believe it is whatever you want it to be. For me, if I have enough to give with success back to the community in the way I really want to, then my dream is totally been happened already. I walked away from many different other things I could have did in life, but I really have a passion, a desire to be an artist. I want to get to follow in the footsteps of those that have written anime and manga like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. Growing up and always wanting to see a Link RPG anime, or being a fan of Dead Note and seeing anime and reading the mangas like One Piece, and being a fan of Street Fighter. I want to cooperate with artists like this in the near future with certain businessmen and women, and see if they would like to cooperate with us in this cooperation. We can make hoodies for people that are from Street Fighter, all your favorite characters from Mortal Kombat, possibly even Hero Siege, I'd hope. Hero Siege is a game that I like for some personal reasons, and I could let you know what that is if you just wanted to know, but let me know down in the comments below. And to ask the question why we haven't shown any of the manga characters or the worlds we created in its complete fullness. The reason for it is that there is a competitive side to this industry, and it's very easy to show your work. And now that I have trademark copyright on all my creative original work, that's something I can do now that I couldn't have done previously in some months before. I'll worry about infringing upon somebody else's ability to copyright trademark something and to put ownership on it, because to somebody else that only means that they have to take down the video. But for somebody who, like myself, is taking the route with Money Matt that's out there, following his videos, he says Moneymaker Matt is a YouTuber who talks about the proper etiquette to have in YouTube, how to configure your settings, how to be professional as a YouTuber, what not to do, all the rules and security protocols we should take, regardless if we are going to go business wise as an entity with e-commerce, or otherwise it's good for just being professional at what you do. And because the advice and the acknowledgement I got from them on one of the messages that I left in one of the comments of this video, I was, affirmed that I'm doing this for the right reasons and with the audience, and so far no derogatory negative remarks. And if there are any, I address them. I really appreciate the support, and I feel like we have a platform and something special with viewers and people that like watching videos. And sometimes that's just to see if somebody likes a game, and sometimes if somebody doesn't like a game or what's being said on it because it's too opinionated or biased, then stay tuned to these videos, because I get in-depth tutorials, tips, tricks, and guides into games in a way that I wish that the community had already. I'd like to, be the kind of person to give you the codes and the insight into the matrix of gaming, and to show you what it means to be able to pull off an 8-man raid by yourself while you're under geared, where other people couldn't barely do that when they, otherwise, if they had teamship or not. So I hope to make others maybe potentially learn from my mistakes and have you precede me and be better gamers still for it, while as respecting everybody else's privacy and your accomplishments and your endeavors going forward. To some of you looking at BGC Video Game Championships, some of you are going on tour, going for prestigious events and traveling to be a part of these competitions that have purse and also reputation to gain. And so with respect to that, I don't want to leak anything that's a code or an exploit in certain games that are but for now, with the regency of our business, we see our projections being on par with, so far, with my site has been. And I'm taking the compilation of many different art styles, if you will, if not all of them, that I'm capable of, and putting them into one anime, one manga, and seeing how far I can go with it. I don't know how the public or community would ever accept that. I just didn't imagine it was possible right now in my lifetime to come as far as I have with the company and the business, but having the right people around me, I believe that's also success. And I'd like to listen to the public and see what the audience has to say is as important as any other businessman or anybody else could have any kind of sit down and word. It's important to get everybody's feedback and put that into the correct perspective to make sure I don't fall into any of these mistakes or anything too early on. And one of the things I wanted to do because of Moneymaker Matt on YouTube, he's taking me from a position where I was beginner to more of an intermediate YouTuber. And I decided to get the LLCs for my certain corporations, my business, my articles organization. I got my copyright as well as my trademark for my brand logo, all legally done with USPTO. I'm doing my first filing, so I'm learning the taxes and filing on this, but it's the beginning year, so we'll see how the IRS treats us. And so far no sales or anything, but this is a passion project. I got time to be creative, open, liberal with my work in a way that I feel I could express myself, which is important to all of us as artists, but also the ability to follow in the footsteps of my dad. I don't know how good I will be, but I'll never call myself a pro if I leave that up to the people. I just feel like if it's possible, that I can get back to the community with these events, the Pokemon event that we have going on right now, it's something meaningful compared to what my fuller vision is for us making in the future. And in this contest, it's free to enter, free to win 2 of the 3 Pokemon. I will tell you right now, and all you got to do is guess those 3 Pokemon. The blue Pokemon is Squirtle, and the green Pokemon It's got like a mushroom, like a seed pod of a leaf of a flower, if you will, or a bud that's on the back of them is Bulbasaur. And their evolutions is Bulbasaur, Venusaur, Ivysaur, and then you have Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. And so you guess that third Pokemon and you're entered in the raffle to win. There's one other Pokemon there. It's from Generation 1 of Pokemon. And Pokemon has been released since the early 2000s. I remember growing up, it's been a lot of nostalgia and fun to me. I play to this day. And so, those who take from it what they will. If you're looking for tips, tricks, and guides into videos in ways that are not opinionated and biased, then this is a video where I can get in depth into the game and just show you what needs to be done without the commentary. And once a month, like this, every few months, every so often, I give updates. And on these updates, I'll let you know of anything that's important. I try to answer back to the community if there's any questions or comments. And one of the comments that we had is sort of my sense of the question is I can kind of take it the way I want to, where it's multiplicative in the sense that on the comment was mentioned. And it said, your voice, it sounds like, this has been made with like an AI voice type of thing. And I knew that it wasn't, so I felt like responding to that message. And what I have to say is I would think that that was, a compliment almost in a way, in a sense, if I would assume. But I also, rebuttal to that, I'm not going to recant any words. It's just that I'd hope that AI, doesn't create anything incorrect or represent gaming my voice or anything in any of the philosophies of life or anything. I wouldn't really show people. And I don't think that AI can encapsulate the dynamics and the complexity of what it really means to be a human being and the susceptibilities of thought and process of our own intellectual ability and intellect. I don't think that's as tangible for an AI as people would like to believe. So with this artificial intelligence, artificial emotion, certain things that it wouldn't be able to relate to except in the logical senses of what we say and we input in life. I would hope that I was going to see a trademark, and so, or a logo or something that's by Kensho's The Art of Gaming one, if that was ever the case. But in the meanwhile, it's like, with the copyright infringement with our company, what I want to talk about, not to diverse off the subject matter, is that the idea is that, we want to do these things for the shop, the online shop, and we want to make the manga and everything going forward. And I see that there's some artwork that I scrapped, some concepts and some storyboarding that I kind of was working with, some rough things, ideas and concepts. And, I still have copies of some of that, but, it's not something I'm going to copyright and use technically going on with the work, even though I have creative origin right to it. Copyright hasn't been needed. But I'd also like to say that, it's also the fact that, like, if others are taking the work that I'm not copywriting or that I'm not using for another reason other than, like creative storyboarding or concept arts, they're free to use it. If it's a character or something that I don't have Kensho's The Art of Gaming, my LLC, the company, corporation, trademark, brand, or logo on, it's most likely not me anyway. So anything that doesn't have our trademark on it, Kensho, or The Art of Gaming for our channel here on YouTube, is not me for AI. So I would hope it wouldn't be in the future. I know it's a long-winded statement. I just wanted to give you an update and let you know, by all that been said, to say this. This reason why for copyright infringements and certain reasons, I really want to show you the humanoids I created, actual human beings, the 13 realms and worlds with all the detail completely sketched out and colored. I want to show you the biographies of the characters and the furies that I've created, and my concept of, my derivative of Susanoo. And, I grew up watching things like Notebook and Death Note and, movies and everything that's out there, and seeing people pick up a notebook and write something in it, and seeing the outcome of that anime, and seeing One Piece with all the worlds and costumes. And, you pick up the imaginations of others. And I would hope that people like the creators of like Dragon Ball, Mortal Kombat, or Street Fighter, or Hero Siege, or Disney characters, or DC characters, or Marvel characters would be something that we could incorporate. That would be great. That's my dream into our artwork, and kind of create this platform where we can create these one of a kind memorabilia, shirts, and stuff that are super sought for their quality and their nostalgia, and the exclusivity of such an item that you won't be able to find anywhere else in the world. And they're not going to be mass produced. And not everything is going to be like that. So we would hope just to make some quality items that are very affordable for the community, and also keep in mind that our customer service is top priority with live representatives. And I'll oversee it, and I'll be very involved in most of the things, hopefully for the better. And I hope to grow what we've already established. And it's only through, the welcoming of also the community is as important to anybody else's reputation as how I can represent myself, if it's acceptable by the community. And without derogatory or negative remarks, we, by thus far, been able to have a platform. And I decided to get this company in corporation because of Matt, that was up on his channel talking about the different things that you need to do to be careful in the world, and the things that Matt didn't think were possible that are. And so he's very admirable as far as his character. His morality is outstanding, especially at his age, to see youth directing other people. So me, I'm at an age where I'm mature enough to recognize that we can learn from people and be wiser still. And especially because I didn't have experience before, I've gotten a lot of confidence and a lot of know-how, and decided to make a lot of these decisions based off of many different YouTubers. And I've been inspired, and I've learned from many different artists, different walks of life, animators that I've had as friends growing up in school that became somebody, or I've seen or met somebody through a video and heard a commentary, and one made me think, what could I inspire to be? And I really want to showcase the artwork and what my passion is, and my abilities capable of as an artist, so many others. But I'd also hope that the audience leaves us comments and suggestions, and or gives us feedback time to time. And in exchange, I'll be honest in the videos about these tips, tricks, and guides, respecting those of you who's on tour who are in competitive gaming. And put these videos out like for Tears of the Kingdom, and also Mario Kart, and some exploits in game that simply exist in many different other games too as well in the near future, so long as it doesn't affect anybody's competitive journey to becoming a champion or something like that. So I'm looking forward to the anime, but the anime, for the series will depend on the community and society's kind of acceptance and things, to see how it goes. Trying to compilate all these different artworks and styles from so many animes, and shonens and seinens, and things that I watched growing up. We could talk forever about what our favorite anime is, or our favorite manga to read from. And if I could, have what it takes to be a mangaka, to be able to get a few episodes out early ahead of time without having a deadline on me, maybe I'd be better off for it, as well as to take my time in the creation of our e-commerce shop for the next 3 to 5 months. And so, June, July, maybe early August, mid-August at the latest, we'd be able to see an e-commerce shop and the first book series for our manga to be released. And that would be a success in terms of accomplishing, seeing a goal, putting it out there, and seeing something actually happen, manifest. In reality, we've come this far, and I don't want to just be a flashy logo or anything for anybody. I hope that I represent a community out there, a fan base, some people out there that want to see some clothing from their favorite, memorabilia, maybe from Snoopy, from Garfield. There's old throwbacks like Beavis and Butthead, Red and Snippy. And I don't think we find stuff like that all the time, at least not the way maybe we can collaborate with some of the actual artists and those that are live. My favorite voice actors and stuff, RIP. May they all rest in peace. They are my inspirations, and many of them are living legends right now. And so I have some idols out there, and I made mistakes, and seeing some of them get past things that they had to go through, their trials and errors in life, to follow and pursue their dreams, finally accomplish it will be a feat for me. I'll have to go on that journey too to see if I have what it takes. And God willing, with everything been said, our projections, everything's going according to plan. I have a bit of a filing I got to do right now. I got to come up with my first annual report, and it's a lot of fun, learning the business end of this too, and taking what I know from my marketing background, all the background experiences, that I have with business, society as far as my marketing and sales experience as well, but also seeing different industries and different things I've done in my life, and having understanding of community as well as commerce. It's brought me a long way, and with Matt too, somebody that's professional here on the platform like YouTube, and giving good security tips, sound advice, taking some of his initiative to take his advice seriously and to back it up, and create an official brand logo and everything to go with protecting myself, so that we have original art, because some of the art that we scrapped in the past has been used, and without this in place before, that's work that I could claim, and that's great to have fan art and to inspire others out there for them to all use something similar. And it's just it's a privilege to be able to do that, and that's part of this. So I don't want anybody being afraid. But if there's a TM on it, a copyright that's official, it's a certain character or something like this that's real specific, you'll know it. Like backgrounds, foregrounds that we're starting to draw on sketch, and working on a video we have back in this series, that's all the copyright and everything already. So our brand, our official TM is going on it. It's something we're continually working on. We've been working on, me and certain friends, and people I work with occasionally, and trying to establish a ground zero for a team to come in and start working with each other, find the right people who can be a part of this enterprise. So in the near future, if you stay tuned, more tips, tricks, guides in the future, many games like MMOs, RPGs, PvP games, many different platforms, PC, handheld, different platforms like Xbox, PlayStation, whatever the system is, Steam. We're going to showcase many different games up here, from many different things up here. To be mentioning, one of the games are Sea of Stars right now with 2 free playable downloads. These DLCs are entirely new game expansions to the game, pretty much. No exaggeration, choose my words carefully. It's like a new version of Sea of Stars. You get up to 8 hours per DLC. Of just story and extra things to do, characters and gaming. So if you have that game out there, check it out. Lots of fun tips and tricks like that, especially one of their video channels right now is on actually our video we made was about a Pokemon tournament for Pokemon Friends, the game, and we have 30 days, so check out the post, read the comment on that, leave your answers. 2 of the 3 Pokemon are Squirtle and Bulbasaur. Squirtle is the Pokemon that's blue, it looks like a turtle, turns into War Turtle, and then it turns into Blastoise as its evolution. And then you have Bulbasaur that has like a flower on its back. It's kind of greenish, kind of looks like a froggy, and it has like a rosebud on its back, a flower budding on its back. That's Bulbasaur, who evolves into Ivysaur and then Venusaur. And then there's one more Pokemon from Generation 1 that Ash originally had as one of the 3 starters you could have chose from. And that's either Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander. And if you know what those answers are now, all you have to do is enter those answers into the contest comment section below, and you're entered in the raffle. If there's a no contest and nobody is able to enter in time or submit their answers, we will do a live giveaway of Pokemon Friends where you playable game for Nintendo Switch with an E code. And that's just something you could download from the Nintendo eShop. Really want you to guess those Pokemon and leave your answers to be a part of it. It's free to enter, free to win. Also, if at all anybody has any questions or comments, don't be shy. I'm here. I won't put you on blast, so I'll make a whole video series about you with your permission. I just want you to know that your feedback means everything. The community is important, what you say. And I see that you are very careful with how you dictate a video goes, and I'm going to be very careful too in what I represent. Try to make a website, an online shop that's to your likeness, that we could all appreciate, be proud of, and hopefully establish a certain means of where you can get these codes, these tips and hints and guides way easily for free. You can get a lot of free gaming information, and we could offer you some master classes in the gaming, what have you. And pretty soon in the near future, maybe you even see some live streaming of some competitive gaming I could do. I'm thinking about going to leave a speech now and then, just to answer any questions or comments once a month. A short video like this with some dialogue where I can give you some feedback, some insight to what I've been up to behind the scenes, and maybe soon introduce you to a team of people I can collaborate with. If not, establish myself currently in the market with others and find the right artist and entrepreneurship out there, because to a degree it's as important how you do business as who you do business with. And I want to find trustworthy, reliable people and have outstanding customer service. And I believe that's what we need as gamers, is a source of reliable information. And that's what I hope to be to others. Those who are using hard work to be an inspiration to some of you. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Kensho's The Art of Gaming. This is one of our monthly reports. We do this about every 3 or 4 months or so, or when something important comes up in my business. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. We're gonna have some new videos on the Hero Siege, World of Warcraft, and Pokemon soon. Keep a lookout for that. We don't give notifications past a certain hour, so if it's 12 a.m. there's no more notifications, and we put notifications on to 11 a.m. So we don't try to post more than 1 to 2 videos a day within reasonable hours, and we don't ping anybody in the middle of the night or too early. And so you won't get a lot of spam notifications if you decide to like or subscribe to the video. It's totally up to you. You're not obligated. There's nothing mandatory. I just like having a channel, a platform to be a reliable source of information for others. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. If I don't see you in game, this has been Kensho's The Art of Gaming. I'm Julian Al Thomas. Till next time.